So this is a GepRC cinematic whoop product. There are a number of other very similar products in the same category. None of them perform very well. I really don't recommend a single one for a variety of reasons, primarily reliability and the quality of the footage you get out of these things. So right up front, I'll tell you what my problem is with things of this size. The cameras, the actual HD footage that you get out of all of these nano, micro, split, whatever cameras, I personally don't feel is all that usable. It might be okay for you, and if it is okay for you, then these products do fit the bill for you. They just don't fit the bill for me. That being said, this one isn't bad. It does come in at a roughly 82 gram all-up weight with a 2S 450 milliamp battery, which I think is the suitable battery to be run on this thing. It has a Caddx baby turtle or micro turtle or nano turtle. It has a Caddx split-like camera in there, which I'll review real quick. I actually like the micro Caddx split cameras. I think it's one of the better ones. The main issue with it is that the field of view is just way too narrow for my taste. I'd much rather have a much wider field of view. So for that reason, it's just not that usable for me. In addition, the actual image quality is not the best, but it is suitable for Instagram if the overall field of view and the optics worked properly such that it would give you a nice picture. I do wish that they would just work on making the actual picture at least better on these cameras if they can't make the quality better and the light handling better, and that would actually make a pretty significant change in these split-like cameras that are these tiny little nano sizes. That would make the footage a lot more usable. The rest of the quad is pretty standard at this point, although GepRC does have they have like a plastic material that does seem to hold up really nicely. I don't know if they made the frame, maybe they did, but the design of the frame is fine, and the overall durability of the frame is not bad for what it is, an overweight whoop. The motors are 1102 motors that are, what's the kV on them? 10,000 kV. So 10,000 kV 1102 motors, which I think are totally suitable for a whoop of this size and weight, actually. I think they perform great. It's not the fastest quad. You don't want it to be the fastest quad. It's not designed to go fast. It's a whoop that's designed to float around. Now, for some reason, the one that I have doesn't fly that great, but it's not the fault of the motors. The motors actually perform totally fine. I'm not sure who makes the motors for GepRC, but they're very smooth. When I spun them up in Betaflight, they're very smooth. The rest of the frame and the rest of the design does have motor plugs that they plug right in, so that's actually nice for a CineWhoop. If you do need to replace the motor, it's really quick and easy. It does have an XC30 on there, which is going to be really nice and helpful. It is probably limiting to have motor plugs on this board and not have the motor wires directly soldered in, but I have found that those motor plugs actually don't impact performance a whole lot. It's just barely noticeable, and for something of this size and weight, I don't expect it to be that noticeable or even noticeable at all if you were to solder the motor wires directly, so I'm totally on board with these plugs. I actually added my own receiver in there. It's an old FrSky receiver. The all-in-one board in here is a GepRC all-in-one board. By now, these Whoop all-in-one boards have gotten pretty reliable, except for the Crazy Bee boards. Those are still a little bit unreliable, but the ones from various other companies, including Beta FPV, GepRC, as well as Diatone, those are pretty reliable boards. At least I haven't heard a whole lot of failures. The rest of the thing is built like a typical Whoop, as you would expect. It does have a 200 milliwatt BTX on there, and it can perform really nicely. It's just the one that I got, for some reason, has this weird bobble. I'm sure I could tune it and fix it and get it working better, but I really don't care to, because I don't see a whole lot of value in this particular kind of product, because I just can't use the footage that comes out of it. Again, maybe you can, maybe it's good for you, and if you are looking for a cinematic whoop like this, this is probably one of the most recent cinematic whoops that have come on the market, and it's among the better ones. It's not great, but I would say it's probably more reliable than most of the other ones out there, and it performs, if you get it to fly right, it'll perform pretty well as well. But yeah, please don't keep buying these. Just buy one if you want one, and don't buy any more, because they're not really that different. Floss your teeth. I'm sorry for like the depressing review. I'm really tired of reviewing the same thing over and over, and I have like 3 of the same thing coming up next as well. Take care. Bye.